What's up, y'all? It's your girl Taquaya, Marie Quay on Instagram. We are back again for round 2. I have some new content for you guys. If you have not seen my first video, please be sure to go check that out. Welcome back to those of you who tuned in the first time. Welcome to the new tuners or whatever. Today, we're going to be talking about the power of communication. So again, the purpose of these videos and this content that I'm going to be putting out for you guys is to just kind of discuss relatable topics, things that you guys may be interested in. Now, disclaimer, okay? The things that I say are just, me simply sharing my ideas and experiences with you guys. It's not me saying, go do this, go do that. I share with you guys what I share, and you guys take what you take from the information that I give you. Today, we're going to be talking about communication, and communication is, to me, highly important in literally everything that you do. Everything. That's in relationships, that's in your career, whatever you do creatively, that's in school, that's everywhere. Communication is key. For things like maybe work, or like me, I model. So communication with opportunities or castings, gigs, people who are in charge of that, that's always really important to me. I'm always checking in with them, or, maybe if I didn't make a casting, I'm kind of like following up just to know, what can I work on? What can I improve on? It's just like when you get back a paper, the professor is writing down on the side, what needs fixing, they edit. So communication is important. Feedback is important. And closure, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So let's start with unresolved issues. So for me personally, when I truly care about something, or I'm passionate about something or someone, which is very rare, so when I do, you better know what it is. When I truly care about something, I can't stand to leave the situation, if we have a falling out, the situation unresolved due to a lack of communication. So again, I'm the type of person who needs closure, who needs feedback, who needs answers to be able to feel free and move forward from the situation. And for me, I feel like it's always important to have an understanding. Miscommunication in a situation is literally the devil, and it could have one or both parties taking things completely wrong, like the wrong way. So with that being said, without communication and without having an understanding, how can you possibly fix something or grow from a relationship or know what needs to be worked on if you don't know exactly what the problem is or what's going on, or, if you don't hash things out? Because at the end of the day, there's that misunderstanding there that one person's thinking one thing, one person thinking another, and you guys aren't talking to understand, okay, this is what we need to move forward. Whereas if one person's just not talking to the other person, and there's no communication, then nothing progresses. So with that being said, if you truly care about someone or something, open your mouth, communicate, and work to gain an equal understanding. Seriously, because if it means that much to you, you have to communicate. Like, equal understanding. That is what's very important in the situation. If you ever have a falling out, you need to make sure that you guys have an equal understanding. Remember though, always live in your worth. Like, bottom line, always live in your worth. So at the end of the day, try as many times as, is genuine in your heart to try, but don't beg and don't beat a dead horse. Like, period. If you find yourself doing more work than the other person, cut it off. Done. It's done. So I posted before on my story, sometimes it's not giving up, it's knowing your worth. So especially, you should start backing off when it's a situation where, there's fault on both ends, and even more sometimes on the other end. If you are trying to do more fixing in a situation than the other person, excuse my language, but fuck them. Fuck them. If they can't see the effort that you're putting in, or see how much this means to you to communicate, to come to an understanding, to be on the same page, if they can't see that and want to do the same, it's a wrap. And this goes into accountability. This is like a post I made the other day about, people just not taking responsibility for their side of things and thinking that they're perfect, basically. If a person cannot take accountability, biggest pet peeve of mine, take accountability for what you do. I'm able to take accountability for the things that I do, especially if we're in a relationship. You should be able to do the same thing, or a friendship or a partnership or a business relationship. You should be able to take that accountability for the side that you're doing wrong. So if a person can't acknowledge they're wrong in a situation, they can't acknowledge the things that they're doing. They think they're perfect. They think their shit don't stink. They think that you're the one who's 100% wrong and never apologize for what they've done wrong in a situation. Then cut them off. At the end of the day, I'll reiterate this again. Communication is key, but don't kiss nobody ass. Do not beg, because you still have a worth. You're still worthy. Know your worth, live in your worth, all right? You can't force anybody to do anything or realize anything. As hard as it may be in a situation like this, you just gotta take it for what it is and like throw it behind you for the sake of yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's messing with your peace, and you don't need that kind of energy around you. If it's draining you like that, just simply communicate, let it go. For the people who lack communication or who do act that way, as I described, realize the frustration that brings to the other person. Realize how that feels. I witnessed somebody the other day. They were on the cell phone, and I heard them trying to tell the other person something, and they couldn't quite get out what they wanted to say because, you know, he kept saying on the phone, you know, I can't hear you. It's really loud over there, whatever the case. And he seemed very frustrated because he really had something to tell this other person through the phone. So in my head, you know, that was like a literal case of bad communication. But that kind of ties into what I'm saying here. Literally trying to communicate with someone who's not receiving it well is like talking on the phone where there's white noise or it's too loud and you really have something to say to that person that's important to you, but it's not getting across because there's that, you know, that barrier, and it's very frustrating because you have something important to say. Or even worse, you really have something to say. Like, think about when you're trying to call your best friend and something just happened and you call them because you have to vent and you have something to say and they don't pick up. Communication with that wall or something that's blocking you from saying is very frustrating. Just remember, when, you know, you're communicating with somebody or somebody's trying to communicate with you, just think about the frustration that it is when someone's trying to express themselves or let you know something that they feel is really important and you're not receiving it. I'm going to keep reiterating this because this video is about the power of communication. At the end of the day, just communicate. To avoid all of this, communicate. And for those of you who keep trying to communicate and the other person's not receiving, because communication takes two people, let it go. Back off for a little bit at least. You've done all that you can do. It's on them to continue to try to communicate, to fix it. It's on them. Once you've done all that you can do to communicate, chill on it. If you're doing all of that and receiving nothing, it wasn't meant to be. The universe will always reveal to you what is supposed to be around you, what's supposed to be in your life. God will always put around you what needs to be there. If something falls out or, you know, let it go, accept it. That's not supposed to be in your space. And also there's things that maybe may not, you know, it's not supposed to be in your life right now. You might have a falling out with somebody or whatever the case, and that's okay. That's what's meant to happen. You have to accept things like that and allow them to happen, because at the end of the day, like I said, if it's meant for you, the universe will bring that back around you at a better time. It'll come back to you if it's supposed to be there. But for the time being, you got to let it go. So that is all I have for you guys for the power of communication. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Show love on my Instagram page. Again, my Instagram is marie.quay_. Please stay tuned for more content. I will be trying to collab with people, have some co-hosts, get more into podcasts, like I said. Look out for content once a week. And I'm always accepting new topics. So if you guys have anything that you would like me to discuss, if you are interested in co-hosting or anything of that sort, please let me know. So that's it. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.